Hello, beloved. Thank you for joining me today. Today, I'd like us to take a look at the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 6. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 6. Paul says, I have planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase. I have planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase. Now, when we go to verse 9, Paul says that, for we are laborers together with God. Ye are God's husbandry, ye are God's building. Now, we see that in the verse 9, Paul was likening the people to a farmland or a building. And Paul was saying that they are laborers together with God. That is himself and Apollos. But in verse 6, where I read, he said, I have planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase. Now, the amazing thing is this. Paul was trying to point to the people that each of them had a role to play in their development. Because Paul was the one who went to Corinth first. Then after that, Apollos went. So Paul says, in being a farmland, there is a need to plant and there is a need to water. Paul says, I played my role by planting. Apollos played his role by watering. But he said at the end of the day, it was God who gave the increase. So in verse 7, Paul says that, so then neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but God that giveth the increase. Now the reason was because there was a contention in the church. If you read from 1 Corinthians chapter 1 from verse 10, Paul said in verse 11 that members of close household had reported to him that there were divisions. Some people were saying they were for Paul, some were saying they were for Apollos, some were saying they were for Cephas or Peter, some were saying they were for Christ and all. So in chapter 3, Paul now brought it to himself and Apollos. And Paul said, do you know something? I did the planting, Apollos did the watering, but it's God who gave the increase. So he said, don't give focus to the one who planted or the one who watered, because planting and watering could have happened and increase couldn't have happened. So it is God who matters in all this. Now, the point I want to draw out is the fact that each of them had a role to play. I just want to bring our minds to the fact that every single person has a role to play in the things of God. Every single person has a role to play in this life. What is the role that you've been brought to play? Now, you see why comparisons are unhealthy in the Christendom? Because everybody has a specific role. Even when you have two people planting, they'll plant different things at different places. No two assignments to be 100% alike. That is why it is unnecessary to compare ourselves with other people. The Bible admonishes us in Hebrews 10:24 to provoke each other unto love and to good works. It means through what everyone is doing, others should be encouraged, but not to compare and to say one person is better than another person. So I want to admonish you today to be faithful in that specific thing God has told you to do. It does not matter the size of what another person is doing. What matters is this. Are you doing what God told you to do? Did God tell you to plant? Don't water, plant. Did God tell you to water? Don't plant, water. And know that the increase will come from God. Just do what God has told you to do, and God will add on and do the rest. Hallelujah. Thank you so much for joining me today. God bless you. I'll see you same time in our next session. God bless you.